What happens when you drop a Navy SEAL platoon, armed to the teeth, into a world of swords and chariots? Could they actually do it? Could this small group of Earth's deadliest modern warriors take on the greatest empire in history? The target, the Roman Empire, built on steel, discipline, and the absolute certainty of its own power. The weapon? A single 16-man SEAL platoon, detached from time, and armed with the tools of modern war. The rules are simple. The SEALs cannot defeat a legion head-on. Their mission is to collapse an entire civilization from within. So, what is a SEAL platoon bringing to the table? Think: standard issue suppressed M4A1 rifles, long-range sniper support, sidearms, and a few explosive surprises. Gear-wise, night vision, body armor, GPS, and medkits. You get the idea. Training: close quarters combat, stealth, demolitions, and asymmetric warfare. This is a small, lethal team in Oakley's. But this isn't a video game. No reinforcements, no ammo drops, no translators. Every bullet they fire is one they won't get back. Every wound, there's no medevac, just pain and pressure. Ancient diseases? They don't care how shredded you are. At first, they'll look like thunder gods, but empires learn. They adapt. Eventually, these super soldiers become exhausted legends. Phase 1. Infiltration and first contact. The mission begins with a jolt. One moment, the platoon is on a training op in the Nevada desert. The next, they are in a forest clearing in Britannia. The first contact is pure chaos. A routine Roman patrol of 5 men on a dirt road. They see what they cannot comprehend: dark, formless shapes moving without sound. The Romans, bewildered by the lack of noise, raise their spears. One spear is thrown. A silenced shot answers it. A second, then a third. The Romans don't see the shooters. They hear only the soft thud of their comrades falling, and the whispered thump of a sound they can't process. The last 2 flee, convinced they are being hunted by spirits. First contact is a success. The legend of the ghosts is born. The platoon establishes a temporary hideout in a remote cave network. Their priority is intelligence. The Romans operate in a world of information asymmetry, where couriers on horseback and stone inscriptions are the only methods of communication. The SEALs, in stark contrast, possess cached maps and the ability to process data with a speed unimaginable to their enemy. They must learn Latin, not to talk, but to listen, to read, to understand the weaknesses of the beast. They spend weeks in the shadows, observing patrol routes, supply lines, and the political climate of the nearest Roman garrison town. The language comes slowly, but the patterns of an empire reveal themselves. Phase 2. Asymmetric warfare. The campaign of terror begins. The Romans' greatest strength is their network, a web of roads, aqueducts, and administrative hubs. This is their jugular. The first major strike is Operation Scylla. A team of 4 operators, using their night vision goggles to navigate the darkness, plants a C4 charge on a key aqueduct feeding a garrison town. The explosives are timed for a remote detonation. From a distant ridge, they watch through their optics as the charge goes off. The resulting cascade of water and stone is not an act of war. It is a sign from an angry god. The city's water supply is cut, and panic ensues. The Roman garrison, now focused on restoring order and securing their dwindling resources, is effectively taken out of the fight. Next, the SEALs execute Operation Charybdis. A second team infiltrates a supply depot at night. They ignite the central granary and set fires to other key storehouses. The fire burns for days. Legions are now cut off from fresh food and water. paranoia spreads like a plague. A senator in Rome accuses a rival of divine malfeasance. Legions, isolated in the provinces, suspect a supernatural curse has been laid upon them. The ghosts become more brazen. They don't just attack infrastructure. They strike at the heart of the Roman idea. With Operation Thanatos, they use their long-range sniper rifle to assassinate a cruel and unpopular governor. The shot comes from over a mile away. No one hears it. No one sees the assailant. The Roman guard, armed with spears and short swords, is powerless against a foe that can engage at a distance with pinpoint accuracy. Ambitious senators and generals sense an opportunity. Legions start to pledge loyalty to different factions. The cracks in the empire begin to spiderweb. Phase 3. Attrition. The ticking clock is their gear. Ammunition is finite. Batteries are failing. Their night vision goggles, their ultimate advantage, flicker and die one by one as their batteries are exhausted. The SEALs are becoming mortal again. The Romans adapt. They are an organized, professional army. They don't see ghosts for long. They learn to set traps. The legions are actively hunting them, adapting their tactics, and getting smarter with every passing day. The SEALs know their time has run out. The window of absolute tactical superiority has closed. They must move to the final phase before they are caught. The Empire is ready to burn, and they have the match. Phase 4. The End Game. The SEALs know they can't hold territory. The goal was never to raise a flag over Rome. It was to burn it down. Their strikes have created a political vacuum. The Senate is in disarray. Legions, now isolated and paranoid, pledge loyalty to ambitious local generals rather than Rome. The empire has fractured into 100 pieces. It's a house of cards, ready to fall. The final act. The SEALs, now a platoon of exhausted men, find a local warlord, a Briton chieftain, and an army of disgruntled tribesmen. The SEALs don't fight their war. They become the masterminds behind it, turning the tribes into a lethal proxy force. They teach them how to conduct raids on Roman supply lines, and how to use simple tripwire explosives with black powder. They instruct them on ambush tactics and the art of hit and run, essentially teaching them to fight a modern guerrilla war. The tribes, armed with new knowledge and a sense of divine favor, become a self-sustaining army of chaos. The final battle is not a clean, organized affair. The Romans, their command structure in tatters, face an army that fights with an alien doctrine. The tribesmen, trained by ghosts, use relentless ambushes and improvised explosives to cripple the disciplined legions. They don't win a clean battle. They bleed the Romans dry. The SEALs watch from the shadows as the Roman army finally breaks. They succeeded in their mission. The final report reads, Mission successful. The Roman Empire did not fall to a barbarian horde, nor to a rival army. It fell to an idea. A handful of men, armed with the knowledge of a distant future, orchestrated its complete self-destruction. The conquest was a historical footnote for the Romans, a terrifying legend of demons who brought down the entire world. So, could they actually do it? Short term? Absolutely. The first few months would be pure chaos. Cities would topple, kings would disappear, armies would be routed by a few shadows with fire sticks. Long term? Tricky. Ammo runs low, injuries pile up, ancient minds adapt. And a small platoon of men, no matter how elite, can't hold the world forever. But could they reshape it? Start a new empire? Maybe kick off a tech revolution hundreds of years early. If you enjoyed watching a Navy SEAL platoon take on the ancient world and somehow pull off the impossible, make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss the next mission we launch. And, as always, stay curious.